Superstition, fear, mania, melancholy. These are the things that pull the threads of mind and unravel sanity. I was not always like this. I was once a man not too dissimilar to yourself. I was blind to the connection of events that would lead to my elucidation, to a horrible truth that once seen can never be unseen. Let me start from the beginning, when this land was green and good, before the crystals cracked. As I sat in a room deserted of all except technology, I was screen-sucked into a void of repetitive bliss and furnishings. Oh, how I love furnishings. The world, your real world, no longer mine, began to decay. Dishes piled up, clothes were worn and then reworn and then discarded to salt the earth. My real YouTube channel was left abandoned just as I abandoned all people, animals, and gods. I spent every waking hour simulating my tuber with Pewdiepie's Tuber Simulator. And for a while, I was happy. And then, darkness. And from darkness, fire. And from fire, the cosmos. And in the cosmos, something began to take root, nurtured by malcontent and maleficence. The idea that something was wrong. I awoke the next morning, greeted by the unescapable thought that evil had taken root in the simulator. But how? I had to escape. I ostracized myself with Overwatch, and tried to forget with For Honor. And when that didn't work, I turned to weird porn.
Oh my god, it feels so good around my dick, girl.
Ooh boy, you're so nasty.
No dice. In a panic, I turned to Chinese medicine, to no avail. I had to get to the root cause of this. To understand the simulator, I had to understand the Pewds. But to understand the Pewdiepie, I had to know his mind. How can you know a man without knowing his country? So I started there, in Sweden. I learned that Sweden, for whatever reason, is a monarchy, ruled by the feared warrior king, Gustav XVI. It is said that his very gaze can turn a man to stone. I also learned that in Sweden, Swedish fish are just called fish. It wasn't enough. I had to learn Swedish. Now fluent, I tried to flatter Sweden into helping. Jag äter fita, jag äter rov, jag äter allt. When that didn't work, I went to the embassy. I had to find answers, but all I found was more questions. Where are the Swedes? Why is there so much furniture in an embassy? I was off base. I had to return to basics. So I watched all 3,112 Pewdiepie videos. De Hunda in Seglet. And a Swedish man eating an entire bowl of cheese to cure impotence. But out of all these videos, only one thing stood out.
Marina Joyce.
But what does Marina Joyce and a YouTube simulator where you play as a soulless husk creating videos day in and day out have in common? I was close! But getting that close wasn't without repercussion. My body began to undergo changes. Bro, call him, bro. Even in social gatherings filled with friendship and fellowship, I was overwhelmed by the morbid thought that I would never know. And then I hit the bottle. Day drinking turned to night drinking. I became unstuck in time. But still I couldn't find the answer to my question. Why was I doing this? What was the point? What am I?
I'm a Buddhist.
Oh my god.
I'm a Buddhist.
One often misses what's right in front of them.
I'm here today to tell you I am her kidnapper.
Pewdiepie created a game where you lord over a captive YouTuber. He created the simulator to serve as a monument to his capture and captivity of Marina Joyce. And just as she danced for his amusement, we all now dance by those same strings. Day in and day out, we simulate our tubers, enjoying the same sick pleasure, being made accomplice to his crimes, in a cycle that will not end. Hey guys, Saga here. I hope you enjoyed that. Alright, so today's a double release, and the content's a little bit different from the normal stuff. You have this shocking expose into the truth about Pewdiepie, as well as some new For Honor content. It's like an attempt at what a warding guide could maybe look like, but then stuff happens, and you'll know if you see the video. So if you guys would like to see my For Honor content, you can click here, and if you'd like to support me on Patreon, you can click over here. I'll see you next time.